Yeah, and then we have the next map coming up, Infernal Shrines. Talking about it earlier, good chance of lots of kills here.
Oh boy.
Insanely low win rates for both of these teams here. 1-6 to 1-4. But they're both trying. This is good. They're both trying to increase their win rates and get better on these more standard maps. Because the fact is, they usually seem to take maps on some of the more obscure battlegrounds.
Yeah, Team 14 win percent against the 20% win rate club. That's going to be quite the game here. Yeah. Well, one of the teams is at least going to work on their, you know, on their stats in this battleground. Yeah. One team has to win.
No team has to win. It could everyone could just crash out, and the tournament could be over. But that is unlikely for what we will see. Reminder, guys, this is only the first series of the day. We still have 3 more after this in the form of KT versus Start Over Again, Beyond the Game versus Challenge, and the One versus Super Perfect Team.
Don't call them Challenge.
That's what they're.
We have our house rule here. They're Challenge everything.
Our rule was we decided on yesterday was.
Who told you they were called Challenge?
The entire Eastern Clash.
What? Did you talk to CE members themselves?
No, like
See?
They're on their bracket in the country where they speak their language.
I refuse to believe it. So here's the thing. Twitch chat told us that they were called Challenge Everything, and are you seriously going to tell me that the Chinese administrators and Blizzard know more than Twitch chat? I don't think so. Am I right, Twitch chat?
I have no idea. Both are fine. Both are acceptable. They are challenge and they challenge everything. It's fine. Sonya has been picked up very early this time by by Hot Lady.
Yep. So I really want to see Grommash enter the battlefield. I mean, I'm not a Horde fanboy, because it's 2017 after all, and ain't nobody got time for that anymore. But I still want to see what China is, you know, getting out of that hero. How they skill him, how they play him, which towns they pick. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for that very moment.
Yeah, still getting banned out. RPG banning him first in both rotations so far. We do see a Nubrak once again for their tank, for the Wang here. Loktar getting back on his wonderful Greymane, and Sar getting the Rhaegar. Now, he did accidentally put himself in danger a couple times, and against Arthas and Sonya, he cannot afford to do that this game.
Exactly. Unlike last game, he cannot afford to play hyper aggressively. He's definitely going to have to play more conservatively now on that Rhaegar. Just stay behind a Nubrak, wait for Greymane and him to go in, and then slowly but surely follow up. But do not go for those crazy Doge bites as an initiation tool. Save that for a Hero League. Unless you're in my team, then please don't do it.
If you're on the other team, go nuts. Do it all you like. So Vala being hovered over as a burn here.
To be honest, I wouldn't hate another Malthael pick on the side of RPG. They still need a chicken hero. And against Sonya plus Arthas once... Oh, never mind, it's banned. Kendrick, what? I mean, they had the same idea, right? Because once again, the anti-healing, the poison damage, the percentage scaling, it would have actually been so beautiful.
This once again, limiting Chicken. Chicken does once again, though, still have value this time to Dahaka, unless Hot Sadie wants to take him as well, because Jesus Christ. And just go super heavy on the melee, but that is very unlikely.
I really like the way Hot Lady is approaching this draft. Picking Arthas early, so already an Illidan pick for Chicken might be a little bit of a risk. Banning out the Malthael, another strong pick on Chicken that demolished them single-handedly last game, now out of the way. So if they now pick the likes of, let's say, Tasser, okay, good against the Zeratul, and Karzim, perfect. I love it. So if he goes... Zeratul right now, they have double reveal potentially if they go for the blue spirit ally.
Indeed they do. So we're going to go through a couple of Chicken's top heroes here and see which ones are potentially viable. Cool. Zeratul going to be very punished by Tastar and Karazim. Dahaka still available, so right now I'd say that's probably the leader. He has played Ragnaros, but like Hendrik said, he is a little bit out of favor. Illidan is countered by Arthas right now and is going to still get slowed a lot by Tastar as well, so he is a big danger. So we're very much sort of pigeonholing him into playing the Dahaka here. Maybe, I don't know if he's played Varian. I think that might be Chicken.
I would love to hear what Wang has to say. Look how vocal he is. Like, it looks like Wang is taking full command over this draft, gesturing like crazy.
Probably shouting at Chicken, have a higher hero pool. What are you doing? Leoric is also in Chicken's hero pool. I wouldn't hate that. And there it is. And Chromie coming back. I like it. Got the Infinity Chromie.
Oh, man. Yesterday we were kind of complaining about, you know, the lack of Chromie in the entirety of HGC China, and we had to wait until the last series to finally see her. And we see Tracer, an extremely rare sight in China, but we have a double support lineup to support her, especially the Tassadar. It's going to be so crucial. And look at that. There's really a lot of lockdown on the side of RPG, except for Nubrek. I think if Tracer initiates wisely and she's waiting for the right moment, she could be a devastating hero for RPG to deal with.
She could be. This is really good. Both teams, very, very solid drafts, in my opinion. Like, Tracer, for example, is insanely mobile and is basically going to make Chromie never hit her.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be fun. Like, I would argue Sewing Sands might actually have more value because of that.
If only we could read Mandarin, it would be a beautiful, because I couldn't really make out the message. A 65? What does 65 have to do with Illidan?
365 maybe? 365 play Illidan or something like that. We just missed a 3.
Maybe.
I don't know. Either way, like I have like the translator on my phone that works with the camera, but it's a situation of it has to be on the screen long enough for me to get the
Does
phone,
it work on handwriting
app,
too?
Hold it up. On what, sorry? On handwriting?
On
I have
handwriting.
no idea. I've never tried it.
Well, there we go.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to load it up, and the next time we see a sign, I will attempt it.
Keep it ready.
Yeah, it is loaded. It is at the ready. Chinese to English, set. We will try that later.
Awesome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive into game number 2 here between RPG and Hot's Lady. Alright, and once again, coming in the blues here, we have RPG, represented by Chicken on the Leoric, Wang on a Nubarek, Sa on Rhaegar, Infinity on Chromie, and Loktar on his Greymane.
Whereas on the right-hand side, it is going to be Hod's Lady with 365 on the Tracer, again on the Karazim, Lias on the Sonya, Feed B on the Tassadar, and Carlo on the Arthas.
Just can't forget about your comment on Wang's behavior in the draft. Just get a bigger hero pool, Chicken. God damn it, we told you many times now.
What are you doing?
Every time we have to go through this mess because of you.
And Chicken's just like, that's fine, guys, just pick me Ragnaros. Or pick me Butcher, I can do this. And they're like, no, Chicken, God. We don't hire you to play Butcher.
Oh man, JO would immediately be down for it. I could tell as much.
Dude, I would argue that if Chicken did play Butcher, he would be the best Butcher in the world.
Oh yeah.
As we do see now fleeing from Tracer.
Tracer, though, how impactful can she become? Have we actually seen any Tracer last season in China? I do not recall.
Yes, we did. We did it 4 times.
Okay. Yeah, 4 times throughout the entire season is not a whole lot, especially
no, it is not.
Compared to how many games we've had in China. But yeah, do you think a Tracer solo ranged assassin is going to be strong enough in this game, Tetra, or do you think she's going to be a little bit too soft in order to reach the Chromie, for example?
I would argue for starters that she is not a solo assassin here. Sonya and Tassadar together more than make up for the damage numbers. Even Karazim helps make up for the damage numbers. I think that as the solo ranged dedicated assassin, she's going to draw a lot of aggro. And I think with the amount of sustain that the team has, as long as Karazim can stay with her, they're going to be able to keep her alive. Oh, yeah. However, I'm still leaning towards RPG. I think their minimal lockdown, but their team could be a problem, but their team fight control should be enough to win them the series.
And here's a nice little trick we see by Feed B on the Tassadar. Sometimes it is really good. Hold that thought. A Tracer walks into a time trap.
That sounds like a setup for a terrible joke.
Go for it.
A Tracer walks into I don't know, it just sounds like, I don't have a punchline, it just sounded like a setup. A Tracer walks into a time trap. I don't know, protected stasis, I don't know.
I mean, if you take her lore into account, she kind of did walk into a time trap before.
Yeah. Tracer walks into a time trap, Winston fixes it.
Exactly, there we go. Winston confirmed next hero.
I wish.
You said it, Kendrick. And Tetra,
yeah, like
you said it.
The fact is it's possible by Chicken, but it's Leoric. So if you're gonna die, if anyone's going to die, and preferably no one should, but if anyone's going to die, it might as well be Leoric. So I also just quickly, I would argue that Winston is very possible to be a hero due to the fact that we were talking about Reinhardt when I was at the Bliss offices, and like how possible it would be for him to come in because he's one of our favorites. Apparently everything is coded in cylinders in Heroes of the Storm, which is why Reinhardt's so hard to do because his shield is a wall. So that makes it really hard to do so. So everything's programmed in cylinders or spheres. So therefore it makes it really hard to make a shield, whereas Winston's shield is a big old sphere. So completely possible to do here.
Shout out to Dweeblum in the Twitch chat, by the way. Tracer doesn't recall the joke either, Tetcher.
I like it.
On fire! You're qualified as an esports caster for Heroes of the Storm right now. Please send your application to Blizzard Dweeblum.
Yeah, your jokes are of the correct quality, so this is completely acceptable. So the objective was taken basically unattended, other than the death of Chicken. A little bit of counter damage was done on the push in the bottom lane, and now we're going to see them go for kills. But Infinity did get hit by the Punisher and is taking huge damage. Lias will drop though, and Infinity does survive.
And that's the beauty of having a Greymane against a Kharazim that goes for Earth Ally. True, his auto attacks are not going to hit as hard anymore, but he still has plenty of sources in his kit that deal ability damage, and those will ignore the Earth Ally. Whereas a hero like Tychus, for instance, he would be completely shut down by the Earth Ally. Same as Tracer. So every ranged assassin that doesn't have any source of, ability damage, or not that many, is going to struggle a little bit more than, let's say, the likes of Greymane.
Indeed, they will. So, Impalers in the bot lane, just sieging down for the moment. Remember, these Impalers, as you can see, they don't do a significant amount of damage, but they are crazy long range. Yeah. And this is where they can get some value. Very good at clearing camps, just due to being so far away. Interesting build from Locktar, by the way, going with Cocktail. I don't know what that talent is at level 4. Is it the mana one?
Yes, that is true. It is the mana and the range one. So I have no idea what he's all about. I mean, it is Locktar, so I don't want to say anything too negative about him, because, man, that Locktar could probably beat me with his hands tied behind his back. But it is a build that we're not used to seeing at all.
That's a dart. 500 into Psy Infusion. Good job so far. So yeah, hang on. Greymane, talents. Yeah, it is insatiable, 10 mana, so he's able to spam cocktails and Quicksilver bullets. So he is just, the whole idea by the looks of this is to just stay as far at range as possible and just shut cocktails.
I'm still not sure.
Cocktails, but just cocktails.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice, as you said, to keep his mana household in check. Has a little bit of a longer range there as well to allow him to poke from a safer distance, but if you really want to use it to poke, you need to fully commit, otherwise those cocktails are not going to hurt at all.
You can see that right there, they did a reasonable amount of damage. The cursed minions aren't too tough. He is just trying to stay sustained. However, he is nearly dying. Good Volt, able to keep himself safe this time, though.
Yeah, and I think Infinity was under a little bit of pressure here. There was so much going on that he actually mistimed and predicted his combo there after the Temporal Loop, not hitting anyone with the Sandblast and the Dragon's Breath, because, Greymane was in so much trouble. There was a Sonya and a Tracer charging at you, so sometimes when there's so much going on, you don't have the time to just sit back calmly and time your abilities.
So Hull Lady picking up the next objective, their second one of the game. In the meantime, Leoric has done a pretty spectacular push onto the top lane, but Tastar is now on his way to attempt to deal with this. Yeah,
and only 2 heroes pressuring here. Carlo needs to get out of here. Beautiful dodge here, or a not-so-beautiful miss by Wang, however you put it. But
second time, same strategy. Ignore the Punisher and just try and dive the people pushing your lane. Entomb! You're trapped in here with a Nubarak! As he gets taken down, Punisher's back, and it does once again lock onto Infinity. Second time that the Punisher has nearly killed Infinity solo. But they will clear this up.
Sometimes we ask ourselves, like, who would be a fun hero to hang out, to maybe have a drink with, and we normally fall back to the likes of Murden and Shen, like the real party animals. But would you like to hang out with a Nubrak in a one-on-one situation? I don't think so. Oh my goodness, Chicken.
Chicken is dead, drops a slow. Tracer takes another shot, but the Anub not able to land the follow-up stun to guarantee that kill. And yes, I agree, Anub, like, he seems like he'd be nice as a casual acquaintance, but once you're trapped in a room with him, he seems like he's abrasive. He always brings his friends along. They just keep coming every time he activates an ability.
As soon as he offers you to put you to sleep in a nice cocoon wrap, you should be like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, I did not sign up for this. Speaking of not signing up for this, Lias is dying. And boom! Tass saving the day.
Yeah, Tassiter for the win. Unfortunately, the shield duration too powerful, too long for Chromie to finish off the barbarian known as Sonya. But, you know, still a relatively even game here. Constant backs and forth between those two teams, really showing that they're facing each other on the same skill level here. And I want to call, like, Hot Lady against RPG. That is probably the most fun series to watch in HGC China, excuse me, aside from probably SBT and CE, because those teams are straight up the rivals chasing after them in terms of overall skill.
Very true. Yeah, it's dropping a ferocious healing here after taking a little bit of damage. Someone in the chaotic blessings in the chat pointing out. But this is about the third time in HG China where I've just gone with a big old boom and no one has died. There's a good entomb.
Go for it again.
It's gonna be enough. Whirlwind trying to stay alive. 7-sided for the save, and they finally lock her down. Now Locked-On.
Oh no!
Ancestral doesn't land. So close. Bruno's for Chicken. He Wraith walks out of there. It's a 1-for-1 right now. Both teams looking for more. Here's the temporal loop. Is there a boom? Yes, there is. There's the boom. And Wang shall also drop to a sad tickle beam.
Here we go, RPG's Chicken did get the answers for healing. He's still good, but so much follow-up damage provided by Carlo, Feed B, and again, and it looks like Leoric is not going to be able to make it out alive. Let's see. Oh, yes, he will. There we go. But he took a lot of damage in the process, and he's no longer capable of fighting back. But it's hard to say who actually came out on top of this fight. It's probably Hot's Lady, because they were the ones to basically start this shrine a little bit sooner, already getting 10 skeletons in, while RPG still needs to regroup. I do want to say, though, that even if Palm had been used, I don't think Tracer could have been saved, because Karzim was getting crowd control, stunned, and silenced there as well.
Very true. We are now seeing RPG back onto the point, trying to keep control. Reminded, this Chromie completely different build to 365. The ability with the Bronze Talons, the warp, the traps time sickness, I think it's called. The slowing traps, which at level 20 is going to be devastating versus Tracer. 7-sided strike, doing lots of damage to Chicken and Wang here, as they are both pulling back. Sonya continuing to be a menace and trying to focus her down, but she's just too sustaining thanks to that whirlwind. Sars kind of isolated here, is in trouble. Chicken will almost certainly die here. No, he's alive, and Lias is the one that falls to that spectral swing.
Slowly but surely, Hot's Lady is crumbling. So much damage coming through from this constant Chromie harass. And look at Infinity. He's still full HP. They were not able to touch him at all. Carlos saying bye-bye. And this is a clean 2-0 in favor of RPG. Still, though, Hot's Lady with that Karzim, with the Tracer and Tassler, they were able to get Purple Peter into the ranks. The Purple Punisher is now pushing towards RPG's base. But with 2 people dead, and those 2 dead people being their frontliners, there's only so much they can get done.
Chromie now fully stacked on her Time Walker's Pursuit. She has taken the reaching through time at the level, in her case, level 11, and the extra damage, the Quantum Overdrive, at level 14 here. So lots of extra damage, lots of extra range. At least that is the same as the 365 build. Immediately demounted, well done, Infinity.
Exactly.
Mounts up in a laser, demounted instantly.
Oh my god, Tetra, why is Chromie using her Q on the minions, on the mercenaries there? Can you tell me why?
Yes, Bronze Talons.
There we go. Had to mention it at least once per game, you know? It's like a house rule here in HGC China.
Very true.
Oh
PSA, bye Chromie. No timeout for Chromie, and as such, she gets wrecked, and this is the joy of the Tracer.
If I were Trixler, I would probably start talking about bye-bye and the potential value here in a situation like that right now.
No, would not have got him out. Timeout might have brought him tired, but...
You would say so?
No, he had nowhere near enough time to be out from the CC there.
But Chromie wastes way more about time than you.
True. I mean, she would be the expert, but you can't ask her because she's dead. Because she didn't have time out.
Gotcha. I shall be content with that response for now. We see Way of the 100 Fists coming in for Karazim. Another beautiful talent when it comes to applying pressure to the likes of Chromie. Even the Greymane and Rhaegar, even they need to be careful because Karazim can basically duel anyone at any given time.
Very true. So, also I will say, Bye-Bye is about to have value once Chromie gets changed. Then she will be value. Then it will have value because you can teleport back to your point.
Right. Okay.
Because you can teleport to your Sand clone. Then it has value, and right now, pre that rework, no, absolutely not. So Wang holding the line for the moment, just waiting for someone to step out of position. But there's too many heroes here. Doesn't want to take the risk. Moves back to nearer chicken.
Okay, and with both teams sitting at a comfortable level 16, next Shrine fight could be a very decisive one. Look at that, actually. So few buildings have fallen throughout this game. We're almost 14 minutes in, and 3/4 are still standing on the side of Hots Lady, 2 are still standing on the side of RPG. It's time for those teams to really get some value out of their objectives, right?
Yes, it is. Also, I've been corrected that apparently Bye-Bye and the Sand Clone Teleport are on the exact same tier, so therefore still terrible. Completely useless talent, as we see Chicken moving in, clearing up the draining Elias.
12-4 is the current score in terms of skeletons. The Psystorm built on the side of Tarstar gets so much value. We see an engage here on Chicken. Wang going in there as well, and a 3-man stun.
Beautiful tunnel by Wang, but he gets blown up. The whirlwind, too much for them to handle. Locktar getting slowed by the Tassadar autos. Beautiful route by Arthas, and Hots Lady take the fight, grabbing 2 kills and the objective.
So much self-healing going on, so much protection by Karazim and Tassadar to keep everyone alive, despite that beautiful engage by Wang into the Entomb. They were all trapped in one place, but guess what? When everybody is near Karazim, he gets the most value of his healing stun. Also, of course, the Earth ally cannot be underestimated against that Rhaegar and against that Greymane basic attack damage. So, despite not looking too solid in the beginning, Hots Lady came back in dominant fashion, and it is their Punisher to take. They're waiting once again, though.
Chicken trying to find an escape route, but he is outnumbered and gets completely killed off here. Yeah. Now the fact is, like you said, they're holding the objective. Sonya's just chilling up there, waiting for a moment while they grab everything.
And see how they're waiting? See how patient Hots Lady is playing this? They're trying to get some mercenary camps first, and only when they unlocked all the mercenaries that are safe for them to take will they go for the Punisher, because otherwise they would not have the time, or they would actually waste precious seconds that they could have used otherwise pushing with the big mean Punisher. So extreme patience, really nice macro play overall. They take another one, even more Impalers are being unlocked, and I think Sonya is sooner or later going to unlock this once and for all.
Yeah, once her team begins to rotate up, she will likely begin to capture that, and then they can push in with it. They could, in theory, hold this all the way until level 20. They could.
Yeah, I mean, they could. Yeah, and I think that's what they're trying to do.
Chromie has hers.
I mean, there's 2 ways to approach this. Either they wait until level 20 and then unlock the Punisher, or they unlock the Punisher right now and hope to get level 20 with it. Because 1 or 2 towers are definitely going to fall. But I think you have a very good point. I think waiting for level 20 is in fact smarter. They can take another minion wave here. No, looks like they're going to go for it right now. Okay, can't really blame them.
But they're very close to level
20. They're very close. 1 tower and they're done.
Exactly. So this is going to be good. They're once again just clearing up the minions, creeping their way over there. Tracer puts pressure onto Wang, but guess what? Chromie is set up, slowing traps, and they are everywhere because she has the level 20 extra traps.
Yeah, the Andorhal anomaly is online. Up to 3 traps can be placed, and that is extremely annoying to deal with. Such good defense, but the Punisher is going in. Beautiful leash, though.
There's 20. They are now pushing in with a Punisher at level 20 and a Fallen Shaman camp. It could be game here as Hots Lady pushing in. We have the Transgression, like I said, the Infinite Archon, the extra recall for Tracer here so that she can get her health back. Ancestral keeping Chromie alive, but it lands after the bomb, so now she's still low. Core under pressure, everyone trying to defend this. The Cocoon is dropped, that buys them a little bit of time as they're burning it down, but Lias is just so sustaining, they can't even get close to killing him, and that is GG. And our series ends with a 1-1.
Hey, for a moment I looked behind me and I was checking if someone was screaming behind me because there was some fire in that audience or the player booth. I actually don't know who gave a shout there, but that was an intense ending right there. And Hots ladies, we called them the master of the 1-1 for a reason. They once again managed to tie a game against a team that is definitely one of the stronger ones in the league here. RPG, they continue the trend of playing 1-1. So does Hots Lady. And Thatcher, I'm getting a little bit anxious. Please give us a 2-0 at some point.
Someone has to win. We can't do this forever. How do you even tie break an entire league worth of 1-1s? What is the scenario for that?
All right. Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait. There's no way SPT and CE are going to disappoint us twice in a row against new teams.
They've gotta win now.
Yeah.
There's no, like, yeah, it's new teams. Yeah, they struggled yesterday, but it's new teams. It shouldn't be possible. This should be one of the winning. But for now, the next game still has the potential of being a 1-1. KT versus Soa.
Absolutely. Despite Soa looking a lot... And I don't want to say stronger than last season because last season they already improved so much. But despite them looking very strong yesterday, KT is no slouch. KT is definitely a team that you need to take seriously. Also, they have probably, you know, the swaggiest of players in the entire league now with former caster Gunjao now being a player, being the support player for KT and rocking those, you know, Bob Marley dreadlocks. I'm loving it. They can definitely play 1-1, and then it would once again be up to the top two, the big two, FCE and SPT, to put us out of our misery.
Very true. Eventually this has to end. The stalemate shall be defeated. The question is, who is going to do it? Soa or KT both have a good chance. KT, if they are able to pull out something cheeky, I think have a very good chance of sneaking in a 2-0. Soa, like you said, they are definitely just growing and growing every single time we see them. A 2-0 for them would not be out of the question.
Yep. Speaking of Genshua, by the way, who is, of course, the newest addition to KT, still a little bit disappointed that he was not an assassin player. Can you imagine him playing Genji? Genshua on the Genji, going in. I would have loved to cast that.
Maximum confusion. Yes, that does sound quite fun, actually.
How was the European Open Division yesterday, by the way? Did we see a lot of Genji still?
We did see a fair amount of Genji. It was still prioritized. It was very entertaining, very fun overall. Unfortunately, one of the teams that I was... two of the teams, like this was the second to last cup, basically. And we had two teams who had sort of come out of nowhere and needed to finish top 4 to have any chance of qualifying in the next cup.
Right.
And they didn't finish top 4. Hota 2 and Never Lucky. Both of them are now... It's almost impossible for them to get enough points to qualify. I think Never Lucky could still qualify if they get first place next week.
Oh boy.
In 2 weeks' time.
That's a lot of pressure. If you need to place first place in order to qualify, well, good luck.
Yeah. Hota 2, I'm not sure it's possible. It might be. We'll find out once the scores are updated after tonight's games.
And we almost reached our 20 kills on average per game here. I think it was 14 total. And 365 becomes our MVP on the Tracer. I think that's the second time we see him on this beautiful MVP screen. The Chromie yesterday, the Tracer today. Man, this guy has pulled off a really successful role swap. Because remember, in Season 1 for the HGC China, he still was their support player.
Yes, he was but he's now moved back in as a assassin player on some of the more alternative assassins, like we've seen the Chromie and the Tracer now. So very interesting, very cool,
very cool to see. So you know, the analysts are definitely doing a better job today already compared to yesterday. Yesterday was a nightmare for some of them, especially Nova and No. You can see those two gentlemen in the upper row here. 1 and 5 is their current score.
3 and 5 is the leader.
Yep. And that's basically the story of HGC China today. Unpredictability. And, you know, a lot of people kept saying that China was so easy to follow because the top tier teams would always win. That is certainly not true for this fall season.
I'm wondering, like, did you notice that all the male Chinese casters are wearing the exact same shirt and waistcoat and just differentiating on ties and badges?
Yeah, they've got some, you know, some accessories. And aside from that, they're all wearing the same thing. I think they're just doing it to make Q look even cuter.
It's like a barbershop quartet, but here's the question. Or a quintet in this case. But yeah, it's cool. They look good in the uniform. I definitely like the variety that we get in Europe and America.
Oh yeah.
But, it does look good. It does look good.
Just imagine if blue didn't look good on you and you're forced to wear blue shirts, blue ties all day, every day.
Well, in fact, the shirt colors they're wearing would not suit me very well because I am incredibly pale-skinned and very much suit darker colors a lot more. That light blue shirt would contrast very badly.
All right. Oh boy. Well, I mean, if Blizzard is still planning on flying us to China at some point, you know, I'm pretty sure we could.
Who knows?
All right, maybe there.
We can hope. We can dream.
Exactly. And you know what you guys can dream of? For the second series. You can dream about the second series, which will be back in a few minutes. There's now going to be player interviews and all the other cool segments, which unfortunately we can't follow because there's no translation, no subtitles available. So we're going to be back in roughly 10 to 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to be back with KT against Soa.